The number one asked question for me is not skincare related, but rather, Ava, how did you grow your Instagram account so quickly? So this inspired me to do a YouTube video around this to answer your question. And it also tied into my 2020 goal of helping others build and grow their personal and business goals in the digital space. So if you ventured here from following me on Instagram, you probably know me pretty well. But if not, hello, my name is Ava and I am the content creator behind Glow with Ava, and I'm here today to share with you how I grew my Instagram account to over 30,000 followers in just a year and a half. I will share with you all the things I did that helped me and what not to do. So I have a list of little things that I'm just going to share with you today. So watch until the very end for all those juicy tips. And for starters, I want to illustrate the cold hard facts first. As of January 2020, I have over 31,000 real followers with a current growth rate of 1,500 followers a month and a very high engagement rate. These are the simple vanity metrics, and we will get into these figures soon. Before I can dive deeper into these numbers, I want to first detail my journey here on Instagram. So I started my account at Glow with Ava on March 23rd, 2018. That was when I created a new Instagram account aside of my personal account and made my first post. Back then, I never had a specific goal other than to channel my passion and knowledge of skincare into a tangible outlet. So here's my first tip for you. Find something that you are either passionate about or good at / your expertise, ideally both. I stuck to skincare, which was my passion as well as expertise at the time. I had already too many skincare products and I was already advising all my friends and family around me for skincare advice. And plus, it gave me something to look forward to and have fun while dealing with a finance job that I didn't really enjoy. I didn't have any intention of really growing my Instagram account or receiving free products from brands. I never even dreamed of ever getting paid or even getting invited to events. I also didn't ever think that I would leave my current job because, in all transparency, I had a pretty lucrative and prestigious job in the finance industry. Also, I was so fearful that any of my coworkers would find out about this alter ego and side project that I had going on, and that might jeopardize my job standing. Only my fiance and my close friends and family members knew about it, and after their support and coaxing, on May 10th of 2018, I finally took the next leap of faith and made an official real post, and that's when I actually started my account with a real intention. So that is my next tip for you all. Have intention behind your account if you want to grow it. And what do I mean by this? Set some tangible goals for yourself and have conviction and dedication to your craft. Because without intention, you're just going to wander aimlessly without a set goal. But once you do have that intention, it allows you to post things that matter, post things that your followers want to see, and attract new like-minded followers. And once I set my intentions, which was to get my first product gifting ever, and then also to fearlessly share my passion and wealth of knowledge about skincare, then I was able to grow my following to 10K in October 2018, 20K by April 2019, and 30K by December 2019. So third, once you have a niche and a set of goals, that's when you engage with your followers and the community your niche is in. I started following a lot of like-minded skincare accounts and actually engaging with them by commenting on their posts instead of just leaving like an emoji. So if you start associating your account to other people in that niche, then it increases the chance that Instagram is going to start showing your page to other like-minded people, also maybe pop you on the explore page, and also even put you on the recommended friends list, which is huge. So I did this personally by looking at some of the bigger accounts in the community, see who they followed, who followed them. I also looked at who commented on these people's posts, because that was the biggest indicator of people who were actually active in the community. Then I also took 15 to 30 minutes out of my day to respond to all of my DMs and comments. It's just a nice gesture and also motivates your followers to engage with you even more. So take care of your community and they will take care of you. And that gets me to my next point, which is engagement rate and why that is so much more important than the overall follower count. If a brand is smart, then they will look beyond just the follower count and see what kind of engagement rate this person has. If you have 100K followers, but you don't really have any likes or comments, then a brand if they are smart, they will most likely hire another influencer with 50K followers, but double the engagement rate. So engaging with others is the easiest and most organic way to up your engagement rate. I once worked with a brand and they asked me out to lunch because they told me out of all the influencers that they have worked with, I had the highest engagement rate out of all of them, including those with over 50K followers. And back then I only had 10K followers, so I had about 1/5 the follower count, but much higher engagement rate. So how else do you up your follower count and your engagement rate? Be genuine. That was my strongest ammunition. I didn't have great photos to start with. All of my pictures were taken with an iPhone 6 with Valencia filters all over. But what allowed my followers to get past that was the fact that behind those ugly filters stood a genuine, real human being. I promoted products because I actually used and liked them, not just because it was the it thing. And remember, you're not a celebrity, you're an influencer. Celebrities get paid to promote burgers even though they don't eat them, but a good influencer will turn down the money and the free gifting if it doesn't fit with your values. It's surprising how easy it is to smell bullshit miles away. And even as I grew my following, this is something I stayed loyal to. I have rejected so many free giftings and sponsorships if either I tried the product and I didn't like it, or it didn't fit with my overall values and what my followers like to see. So that gets me to my next point, which is know your followers. It's one thing to get your followers, but it's also crucial to keep them with you. What's the point if you get all these new followers only to see them all drop out because you aren't producing the content that they actually want to see? And of course, you should be posting content that you love and hopefully your followers like it too. But maybe you're posting a little too much or too little of something. Engage with them and get their insights via DM or stories. I'm constantly asking on stories, hey, would you want me to post more food or fashion? What other videos do you want to see on YouTube, etc.? Because that not only helps guides you, but also tells your followers that you are committed and gets them more excited and engaged for your next posts and videos. And now, speaking of stories, make use of Instagram stories and open up. Instagram stories has always been and still continues to be my best friend. I'm pretty much an open book there. I share the good, the bad, the ugly, everything that is happening in my life, as well as the products I am testing. Now there are good and bad ways of using Instagram stories, which I will cover in a separate video, but if you use it to your advantage, it can really help up your follower count. And this is something that has really worked well for me. In the beginning, I was posting a lot more on stories versus my gram because first, I didn't really want to show my face on the gram as much. Second, I didn't have enough time to actually shoot quality content. And third, I couldn't find a good way to share all the wealth of skincare knowledge without standing in front of a camera and doing it via stories. And Instagram stories tends to be more visible to your followers than feed posts. So it increases the chances that they will interact with you. And if the interaction increases, then it increases the chances that your post will show up ahead on their feed. So that's just how the algorithm works. So post more on stories, up the engagement rate, and your feed post will perform better as well. Basically, I started sharing my skincare routine, my skincare tips, and all of that. And I got a lot of shout outs from people saying, hey, go watch Glow with Ava's stories. They're so informative. Okay, so now you get a shout out and people come to your page. But your page isn't really aesthetically pleasing and just doesn't look like a profile that is worth a follow. So you kind of just wasted the shout out in a sense. So aesthetics matter. And I'm not saying that you have to get a professional camera and a photographer and have all these fancy pics. All I'm saying is that you should have a consistent theme and make your page look presentable. I didn't own a camera for a very long time since I started, and everything was shot on my iPhone 6 camera. But about 3 months into it, my sister came to me and just told me, your page is all over the place. And sure it was. It was a hodgepodge of Valencia and lo-fi filters alternating, flat lays were messy, and it just wasn't a page that was translating to leads. So making your overall feed and grid look nice is another video that I can provide lengthy tips on. But for now, let's get your theme to be consistent, your color schemes to be more consistent, and a page that is just a little bit more presentable. And I mentioned my sister, and I really attribute a huge part of my success here on Instagram to her. She was brutally honest with me, offered me the harsh criticism that I needed, and basically guided me to success on the internet. it just helps to have a second set of eyes on the work you create, period. It's just kind of like getting a proofread before you hit submit on that essay. Before I post the photos, I always ask my sister or my fiance or friends around me for their opinion because they're just like my followers with an eye of an outsider. If they think a photo is really good, chances are my followers will do too, vice versa. So make sure you have someone to get a critique on, whether it is just a critique on one picture or a whole social media audit. Have someone to help you. And if you need my help, I'm always here, so just DM and email me. The next tip is about posting schedule. I used to post about once to twice a week, and that really screwed me over in the Instagram algorithm, especially when I was starting out. As a small account, you should be posting more consistently. I know it's really hard, especially if you have a full-time job as well. So I basically took out time during my weekends or late at night to pre-shoot all of my content, even my captions, and make sure they were all saved in my draft section of Instagram. And then when I was at work, I would hit that post up button whenever I was heading out to lunch with my coworkers. And while I was eating lunch, I would just read over the comments and respond to people. I think on average, posting 4 times a week is a great start, but don't post more than 2 times. It gets a little too overwhelming. And even now, I try to post at least 5 times a week and usually never more than twice a day because I want to give ample time for the post to perform. My last piece of advice is to be bold, try new things, experiment. There's always ways to improve. Even I'm still learning. No matter how pretty your images may be, if you shoot in the same style, the same post, the same lighting, people are gonna get sick of it. For example, when I first posted my big skincare shelfie, that got over like 4,000 likes. The next time, 3,000. Next time, 2,000. Next time, 1,000. People get sick of it. Also, your Instagram persona changes. My persona went from pretty flat-laid to more lifestyle-focused content. And also, I knew that people love seeing my Instagram stories, which is more personality-filled moments. So I tried to translate that into my feed as well. And that turned out to work really well over time. So just most importantly, have fun while doing it. Okay, so now what should you not do? First, don't buy followers. Please do not be that person who buys followers and likes. I know it can be tempting, but if a brand or someone in the community sees through it, then the damage is already done and it's too late. Do not cheat the system. You are going to be disgraced like an Olympian who cheated, and all the hard work that you put in is going to all go in flames. Just don't do it. Second, find comfort in the discomfort. Don't stress about planning too much. I used to think that I had to have everything mapped out, but over time, I learned to find comfort in the discomfort. When you work with brands, they will usually require you to post on a specific date when you actually had another content plan for that day. Also, work can come up so you can't post that day. So either way, just embrace the change and have fun with it. Third, don't do it for the money. Don't start an Instagram account because you want to start making money and start doing paid collaborations. Don't think in terms of how much money can I make, especially when you are starting out. Make sure you really, really love what you are doing and create the content around it. I assure you, you will be much more set up for success that way, I swear. So that rounds up all of my do's and don'ts for organic Instagram growth in 2020. I hope you guys found these tips all really helpful. And I'm definitely going to do more follow-up videos around some of the topic areas that I want to do a more deep dive into to make sure you guys can all be successful on the gram this year. So if you don't want to miss out on those videos, please make sure to hit subscribe to my channel below and also follow me on Instagram at Glow with Ava. Well, thank you so much for your time today, guys, and I will see you in my next video.